What's up, my fellow adult collector? Welcome to SeViLion Collectibles. In this video, I'll be talking about the brand new Marvel Legends Venom based on his appearance in the 2018 movie. Back when the movie was first released, there wasn't a whole lot of merchandise tied into it, and this is the first action figure tied to it. Hopefully, this is another sign that the Tom Holland Spider-Man will eventually cross over with this Venom. All of my complaints about the Venom movie were really just tied to the lack of connection to Spider-Man himself. Despite that though, I still wanted to check this figure out. If this is your first time landing on my channel, hi, my name is SeViLion, and here I like to discuss action figures and other collectibles based on my favorite movies, TV shows, and video games. If you find this video enjoyable or informative, please give me a thumbs up, don't forget to subscribe, and hit that notification bell. As usual, I'm going to start this off with a nice, slow, up and down look at both the front and back of Venom. The symbiotes are supposed to be kind of oily and slimy, and therefore reflect a lot of the light around them. This figure definitely represents that, therefore you'll see a lot of glare and shine coming from my lights. Under more normal lighting, it shouldn't be quite this reflective. So, with that said...
Oh, come on, SeViLion, what the f***? How does a big glob of black alien snot... Oh,
Venom.
Sorry, no offense, big guy. Get to go through his review before I do. You've had me trapped in a box for weeks now. I'm f***ing Deadpool, you know, the merc with a mouth, the sexiest red guy ever, the #1 box office hit. I'm a natural f***ing treasure.
My bad. I just got busy with other things and put you on the back burner for a little while.
The back burner? Really? Is that an ass on fire joke? 'Cause it's not funny. I'm not some day-old leftovers. I'm the f***ing Deadpool.
Okay. I'll do yours after Venom.
After? Really? No, Mr. Toy Guy. You'll do mine right now. No ifs, ands, or buts. Ooh. Domino has a nice butt. Wait, that's right. It's not even just me. There's also Negasonic, teenage longest name ever. There's also my #1 fan, Cable. And of course Domino's, but not the pizza.
Well, let me get Venom out of here, then I'll go ahead and do yours right now.
You're right, you'll do mine right now. What kind of gorilla is this? I'm more than just a plastic figure. I can be used many ways, but this is the wrong channel for that, and you'd probably also have to pay.
Since you and Negasonic came together in the same package, I'm gonna give both of y'all a look at the same time.
Don't you just love that new toy smell? Oh wait, that was me.
Deadpool himself looks like he walked straight off the movie set and onto my desk. Every single detail of the film's suit is there, sculpted and painted.
That's awesome!
Negasonic, not so much. It's not terrible, but it's not as good as Deadpool is. In my opinion, Hasbro probably stuck Negasonic in the 2-pack with Deadpool because they knew they wouldn't be able to sell as many of her without doing so.
Oh, the f***ery.
Maybe eventually we'll get a separate Deadpool release that comes with an unmasked Ryan Reynolds head, because it's really weird that wasn't already in here. Both figures do maintain the same level of detail on the backside as they do the front, whether that's good or bad. The pack did also include plenty of accessories for both characters.
Yeah, that's fan-tastic.
Deadpool gets a slew of extra hands for holding different weapons, but some of them don't have the silver paint on top. He also gets 2 guns and 2 swords, but those are still in the hilt and you'll see them later. There's also his unicorn. Negasonic gets 2 extra fist hands and the little flame effects, but they're really similar to what's been used with Scarlet Witch, just recolored. Once both figures are geared up with all the accessories they can use at any one time, they do look pretty awesome.
You know, this might be a little odd, but I am a toy, so you think I could play with myself tonight?
So, on that note, now I'll move on to take a look at Cable and Domino. Cable is Walmart exclusive, but Domino should be available pretty much anywhere.
Oh yeah, I would definitely play with her.
Each of these figures absolutely share that same high level of detail that Deadpool has. Domino's hair and gear, Cable's arm, everything looks great. Their face sculpts are also pretty much spot on.
Have you noticed that Cable looks a little like Thanos in the face?
Yes, Deadpool, because both characters are indeed played by Josh Brolin. Each of these figures are very clear examples of what Hasbro can do when they really want to. These are the kind of figures that are exactly why I prefer the movie figures over the comic book figures more often than not. The level of sculpting detail is just immaculate all the way around.
Oh yeah, look at those plastic curves.
Much like Deadpool and Negasonic did, Cable and Domino also come with a slew of accessories, including weapons and extra hands to hold each one. Domino is the only one out of the group to get an extra head. The first one was more of a neutral face, while the second is more of a snarky, smiling face. I do think the second one looks a little bit better, and of course, once they're totally geared up, both figures do look really awesome. Now that all 4 characters have been seen, I will take a quick look at the articulation, but not as a full run-through. I'll basically just name off the points.
Oh, the articulation. That's a lot of positions.
Unfortunately, a commonality with Hasbro is that the women tend to have less than the men. Negasonic and Domino each have points in the neck, torso, shoulders, single elbow, but it does have rotation, and wrist. There's also the points in the hips, thigh cut, double knees, and ankles. Unlike Domino, Negasonic does have rotation at the top of the boots, plus a hinge in the neck for better movement up and down. On the men's side of things, the joints they have in common are in the neck, upper torso, waist, shoulders, bicep, double elbow, wrist, hips, thigh cut, double knees, and ankles. Deadpool gets the butterfly joints, while Cable instead has rotation at the top of his boots. Overall, this is a great collection of figures. If I scored Deadpool entirely on his own, he'd easily be a 10.
Sweet.
But instead, I'll just do an average score of all 4 together. With Negasonic not looking quite as good as the others, plus everyone but Deadpool having balance problems. Also the articulation of the women not being quite as good as the men, the overall score is an 8 out of 10 stars, meaning they are excellent and still must-owns for all fans of the characters.
It's a shame that Colossus couldn't make it, but he's having his hand sanitizer analyzed. It's not usually that color.
And with all that said, it is now time to return to Venom. Venom's head looks great. Like, no matter which form you prefer, movie, comic book, video game, whatever, this is how Venom's head should look across all mediums. The only thing I would change would be adding the green slime that some comics showed him to have, but that wasn't in the movie. The closed mouth head sculpt is definitely still Venom, but the tongue hanging out really just brings it all together for me. I'll still leave this one on for now though, just so there's less in the way of the body. The sculpt of said body is just fantastic. This is pretty much exactly how he appeared in the film. For that particular interpretation of the character, I cannot imagine something being made much better. At least not without going to some high-end import. At the Hasbro level, this is as good as it's going to get. When it comes to some of the white, veiny designs around his shoulders and down his arms, most are sculpted, but some are just painted. Along with the extra head, Venom also includes some closed fist hands that can be swapped out. But personally, I do prefer the open claw hands, and they do look great with the open mouth head. Another great thing about this Venom is his articulation. The head has a decent range looking up, down, tilting, and of course, forward rotation side to side. The shoulders also have forward rotation as well as good outward movement. There's rotation in the biceps, the elbows are double jointed, and the wrists also have forward rotation with the peg for up and down movement. The upper torso is on a ball joint, and the waist has an ab crunch. This is usually what I expect to see on a Power Rangers Lightning Collection figure, not necessarily Marvel Legend. The hips can spread out pretty far, but Venom is way too top heavy to stand like this on his own, so I've enlisted Deadpool's help to go from here. Venom does also have full rotation in the thigh cuts, double jointed knees, and a full pivot motion in the ankle joint. Overall, Venom can pose pretty well, but being so top heavy does throw his balance off in a lot of positions. Just for one last quick comparison, here's Spider-Man in his red and black suit from Far From Home. Venom is a much larger figure, coming in at about 7.5 inches, which would be in scale based on his appearance in the Venom movie versus Tom Holland's height. Now, it's time for me to run this Marvel Legends movie version of Venom through my guidelines for a complete and fair review. This is a brand new sculpt that is highly detailed and incredibly accurate to the source material. It is in scale with somewhat related characters, it does have more than 20 points of articulation, but it does suffer from balance issues. It did include a few accessories, the price point is fair, and it should be fairly widely available anywhere Marvel Legends are sold. Finally, I didn't have any quality control problems with mine, leading the final score to a 9 out of 10 star rating, meaning it is outstanding and one of the best of the year. So whether you're just a fan of the Venom movie, or of the character overall, I highly recommend adding this figure to your collection.
Ha! Didn't see that one coming, did you?